Network Entertainment.
And welcome to my podcast, the RJ Ledesma Podcast. In my podcast, I like to speak to successful entrepreneurs, visionaries, and business owners to learn more about how they think about doing business, what are their success secrets, and can we replicate them in our own businesses. Today, I'm here at the sidelines of the National Convention of Filipino Homes. Filipino Homes is the largest real estate sales company here in the Philippines, and we're here at Waterfront Hotel in Cebu as I speak to one of the top team leaders consistently over here in Filipino Homes. Her name is Boss Azela. Boss A Honor. Boss A. Boss Azela, thanks so much for joining us over here.
Hello po. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Azela Honor and I'm very happy to be with you this morning.
And Boss A, I'm very happy to be with you because you're the petite powerhouse over here who's done such a great thing for Filipino Homes. This year, you're going to be honored again as a top team leader. And you're out of Cebu, but you've got teams all over the country and all over the world. Tell me a bit more, first of all, if you don't mind me asking. This year, you're being honored in the National Convention as one of the top team leaders. How much sales that you have for your team and I guess even for yourself?
For the team, it's more than 4 billion.
For this year alone?
For this year, yes. And for us, I'm not really quite sure.
Kung malaki na kasi, hindi na naalala yung mga sales pag ganyan eh.
Yes, but we're doing personal selling as well.
I see.
Me and my husband.
And then how many team members do you have under your wing sa team A?
For our team, we have over 50 brokers and 30 unit managers. Then under them, they also have their own agents. So more or less, we have 500 to 600.
Under you?
Yes.
Wow. And where are they based out of? Are they all based out of Cebu?
We have team in Cebu. The largest number of our team is from Cebu and Bacolod. We also have team members in Cagayan de Oro, in Zamboanga, Davao, Bohol, and also in Palawan and Luzon area.
Wow. And then globally, do you also have people abroad?
Yes, we're starting also. Yes, we are starting also to expand globally. So we have our global partners who are also based in Europe, USA, and also in Dubai.
I'm very curious. What's a day like for? What's a week like for you? Do you do a lot of? How do you manage all these different offices here and abroad?
Well, right now, Boss RJ, it's very easy to communicate with your agents and leaders because of the digital era. So it's very easy. We can just do Zoom meetings or video calls, or we can use, other social media platforms to connect to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is I find it truly amazing and how you've grown in the industry and how you consistently remain on top. But it didn't always begin that way for you. So we're here on the podcast to share your success stories. And I want to understand better what was your story, because I know that you didn't even start off as a broker. You started off in the medical allied field. That's a bit more. What is your background?
That's true. I joined Filipino Homes in 2010, but before that, I was a radiologic technologist.
Okay.
So a radiologic technologist is the one handling the CT scan, the mammography, and things like that in the medical profession. So we are in the allied medical practice, and I was employed for 3 years before I joined Filipino Homes. When I joined Filipino Homes in 2010, I was a real estate agent. So I started as an agent, and then I became a broker in 2012.
And that's the time you could still take the test. Just
Yes.
test without having to go a 4-year course.
4-year
right?
course, that's true. So when I became a broker, that's the time when I started to expand the organization, the team, and eventually became this big.
Wow. Let's step back a bit more. And like I always say, I ask for the stories of the people over here. You were doing radiologic technology, right? And what was the impetus or the motivation to get into real estate? You wanted to increase your income. What was your what's the that's usually the main reason people do it. So tell me a bit more about
That's
what
true.
made you
That's
do
true.
what was the hustle that led you into doing real estate?
Um, I think the turning point of my career is when I was about to go to London. I already have my HPC license during that time. And then came my visa for that employment. And fortunately, I I did not pursue the trip because I found myself pregnant with our firstborn. My husband and I was 2 years marriage during that time.
Oh,
So when I found out that I am pregnant, so we decided that I should resign from the job since there is so much exposure to X-ray radiation.
I see.
That's
Okay,
why.
I see. So that happened while you were still here in
Yes,
Manila. So you said I won't continue. But how about your? So when you got pregnant, as you said, even my current job I cannot continue.
that's true. Yeah. When I get pregnant, that's the turning point of my career. So I left the medical profession and I'm certain that I'm not coming back because I realized that once you become a mom and there will be second baby, third baby, and it's very hazardous for me to still um, do the profession and expose myself to certain level of radiation.
Wow. So at that time, I mean, I would feel a bit lost because that's the profession that I trained for. That's what you applied abroad to that
That's
to
true.
for that same position. Um, what did you do after at that point? I would feel lost.
During the transition, boss RJ, I experienced also depression because, of course, as you said, I feel lost after so much hard work on that profession. If you don't know, I topped the board exam during that
Wow.
time. So really, my focus was on that direction, going abroad, becoming a radiologic technologist abroad. And to that point that I topped the board exam. And so, losing that career is really something very heartbreaking to me. And yes, I experienced depression during the transition, but I prayed and I told myself that I really need to get back on track. Resilience, grit,
Oh,
and
oh, oh.
everything. So I really need to pull myself together and do something else because I realized that that job I can no longer go back.
Okay. So what did you do next?
I started to look for other business opportunity because I realized that being a mom, I want to be hands on with the kids. So I started looking for a profession or a business that will give me liberty, not just in the income, but also in my time as well.
So why'd you end up doing real estate? I mean, you could have done insurance, you could have done direct marketing, you could have done. I mean, there's a
I
lot of.
actually started with insurance.
Okay, okay.
Before real estate, I started with insurance and I spent a year in the insurance industry. It was good. I learned a lot in the insurance industry. But I think my calling is in the real estate. I met Boston online and then the rest is history. He became my mentor.
What appealed to you about real estate, and in particular, what appealed to you about Filipino homes in general? Because I know Filipino homes at that time it was just getting
That's
off the
true.
ground.
That's
It was
true.
getting off the ground at the time.
when when I started with Filipino Homes is just a baby company. I started in 2010. Filipino Homes started in 2008. So there is no so much achievements that Boston can show me.
Oh,
But the motivation and the inspiring words from Boston really got me on track, keep me going even and despite of the uncertainties. And eventually I found myself in love with the business because it really gives me the things that I wanted, especially the time, that I prayed for my family and my kids. I don't want to be tied up with an 8 to 5 job anymore.
I
So
see.
the luxury of having the time that I always wanted to spend to my kids and my husband, my family, is what really brought me to Filipino Homes and what really made me stay with Filipino Homes.
The thing that I always see is that Boston seems to be a very charismatic leader, but and that comes across everybody I've spoken to. But what were the particular characteristics I think that drew you to him as a leader? What do you think he has as a leader that's really made him very
Yeah.
compelling for you?
Buston is authentic. He's authentic and is very honest. And he does the mentorship one-on-one. So it's very personal on a personal level. And then I think he understands your pain points, your whys, and he really helps you and guide you on how to do the business. So it's really up to you on how you execute the rest, but he will guide you and he will explain to you in a way that you will really understand. So it's the level of success depends on how you respond to the mentorship.
I see. And then when you began, I mean, you said you did a year in insurance, then you got into real estate because you were inspired by how the founder of the company was. It's not an easy road. It doesn't mean instantly may sales ka. Tell me about your journey until you eventually started selling.
When I started in 2010, there were first few months that I had no sales. But when I had my first sale, it was almost cash. So I got the commission or the professional fee in a matter of weeks, and I think that's also the one of the reasons why I stayed, because for that certain transaction I just do it like a week. It's like a week of job, and it's not every day that I'm working,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not 8 hours a day, but I earn more than 500,000 for that
For your first
single
sale ever, 500,000.
Yes.
Wow. And then after that was done, tell me a bit. I want to know the story. How did it grow from there? So you sold 500,000, but that was just still you, right?
Yes. And then I realized that I cannot do more if I serve two masters. So I totally quit the insurance industry and focus in real estate. So during my first year, second year, third year, I always hit my target. So, and that's when I realized that I think the Lord is calling me to be in this profession, because it seemed that everything that I am planning, everything that I want to achieve in the business, I have achieved it. Not very easily, but spontaneously and with hard work, I was able to achieve everything that I planned to achieve.
So
Year after
year
year.
after year, what has been your success secrets to being consistent with the sales, and number two, to growing your sales in this industry? Because you're the top here in Filipino Homes, and it wasn't easy to get there. But then how did you consistently build the business?
First, connection. Connection is very important. It's not I'm not saying that when you started real estate, you have to have the connection. No, you can build connections and build better relationships over time. So we all have our circle of friends, family, friend of friends. So you just have to make it to the point that you can communicate with them and reconnect with that circle, and eventually your circle will grow, especially if you're doing the business in the right way, and if you have that track record that you are trustworthy. Because at the end of the day, this profession is all about honesty, trustworthiness, and you got to be the one that they're looking for a real estate agent or broker. And all clients are looking for that one broker or agent that could really help them.
I see.
It's not just earn from them, but also help them.
So when you grew the business for yourself, like it was a matter of, you said, it's connections and building trust and authenticity with your clients. Was business growth for you in sales very linear, or may point ba na naging exponential, parang it just shot up all of a sudden? And what was that point, that one point when business started just boomed for you in terms of sales?
Yes. There was a time, my first few years, parang linear lang siya, but upwards. And then there were times also na nagiging exponential na din siya. It's like, before COVID, so naging exponential na siya. That was when I'm also dealing with resale properties, raw lands. So kasi malalaki yung amounts na involved. So nagiging exponential yung sales ko. Talking about personal sales for that year.
I see. So it's a combination of all these different things that's
Yes.
there. And I know that because of the business that you grew, your husband was actually, he was a seaman, right? And because of what you did, it brought you back over here. I think that's a very important thing for you. I mean, personal. That's a personal milestone for you. Tell me a bit more about that one. How it brought him back here, and how you pulled him in.
Actually, that's one of the goal, that my husband could come home and no longer leave us for good. So that's one of the goal. So in 2010, I joined Filipino Homes. In 2014, my husband already retired as being the chief engineer of his company. So it's barely 4 years after I joined Filipino Homes that I was able to tell him to stop working and we can do this, and our earning is already more, or equivalent to what you are earning abroad. And so he joined also our team. He joined Filipino Homes. He's now a broker and a licensed appraiser as well.
Really great job. It's sort of like a husband-wife team right now working on this one. Now, tell me a bit more about the actual business of Filipino Homes. What are you doing to, like we've worked with the other people over here? They create their own videos right now as their main selling point to do their work. Other people, they are intensive to building teams to grow their business. Tell me a bit more about your team. How are you building your business here in Filipino Homes?
Me, I'm still keeping the balance. I'm growing my personal sales, and at the same time, I'm trying to grow also the team, trying to keep the team that I have, and while growing. So keeping and growing, because sometimes it's only growing and then you lose track of the existing ones. So I want to keep the old ones while growing the new ones, while growing our personal sales, and while trying to adapt to the new technologies and latest trends in marketing. Like, I've started my videos and started these things this year. I was able to have my marketing team this year also, and my technical team as well.
So you really built a
looking
team
forward
you built a team for videos right now.
Yes, looking forward to jumpstart this video thing also. I'm
okay.
not really very familiar, and I'm not expert in videos, but I'm also trying my best, because I know that as a leader, we have to be the model of our team.
Wow. And I find it amazing because, I mean, you might not have been into videos, which is what people are doing right now. Despite that, you're still topping the sales over here among all the team leaders in Filipino Homes. What's been the main driver of sales here right now?
It's because Team A, my team, is already very mature. It's a mature team. And although we have less new agents or new partners, we were able to keep the good ones.
I see.
We were able to keep almost everyone in the group from way back 10 years, 12 years ago. And they are consistently producing sales every month.
I see. It's just really the repeat purchase for these
Yes.
people that come over here.
Yes.
And you, over the years, is building a good team.
Yes.
Share with us some secrets of building a really good team.
One thing that I would like to always impart to my team, I want them to have the culture of good practice in real estate, so responsible real estate. So always tell them that what our clients are investing are hard-earned money, And this is not just thousands, we're talking about millions. So let's take care of their money as much as possible. Be transparent, be honest, be authentic. Tell your clients if it's not the best project. Tell your clients the best option. Lead them to what is best for them, because eventually those clients will refer you to other clients and will also buy from you. So it's actually integrity that we are protecting, because integrity can make or break you anytime.
That's
So
right. That's right.
that's what we're keeping through the years, and I think that's what also makes us still among the top teams, despite the fact that we are not as fast as every other teams are doing when it comes to expansion and getting new agents.
I see. And in terms of sales, in terms of personal sales, what have been your own sort of success secrets? What have you seen that you can share with people that they should adopt when it comes to sales?
I actually transitioned when I first joined Filipino Homes. For my first 5 to 6 years, I focused on project selling. So I was selling condominiums.
Project selling means what? For
housing
people who might not understand project selling.
Project selling are the projects coming from the developers. So coming from Cebu and Masters, Ayala, Philinvest, among the rest. So these are the projects that I focused when I first started my career in real estate. But gradually, I transitioned to brokerage selling, or selling resale properties, and also reselling my clients' properties that they bought from me a few years back. And so, but of course, until now, I'm still into project selling, but I'm keeping the balance. So I still have my time for brokerage and rentals and managing my clients' properties, and also, of course, for the clients who cannot afford resale properties or properties that requires them cash payment, I still offer the project selling, because it's still the best way to own a property without having that concern of buying by millions
I
on
see.
a spot.
I see, I see, I see. A lot of great learning coming from you, boss Azela, on it's your longevity. I think is a testament really to what you've understood, what you've gained here in sales, and it's really building a great sustainable team, building a good mix of what you're selling, which is both. Taking good use of what being a project, of what being a broker is. You're doing project selling, which is straight from the developers, and also a combination of brokerage properties, buying and selling of properties here as well. As we move forward here in the real estate industry, what advice would you like to offer to real estate salespreneurs as they make their way up in this career? For people who are just starting off, for people who are thinking about it, or for people who are in it and they're not having that easy a time.
It's very easy, but we just have to be consistent with what we are doing. So first off, every year before the year ends, I'm planning my next year already. So from the team's growth to my personal growth to my the personal achievement that I want to achieve, the team achievement that I want also to hit. So everything is being laid out already, so that I know my roadmap for the next 12 months. So it's easy because you are going to just follow the path that you are planning for the year. Most of the agents who are not as successful are agents who just come in, try to sell, and hoping that they could make a sale. So it's not that easy when you don't have a plan. So you start off with a plan, and then you stick to the plan and be consistent every day, despite of the challenges, despite of the failures, because it's not easy to sell. It's not every day that you get yes, but it's easy to succeed in real estate. Success is easily achieved if you are focus. Not focus on the no's, but focus on the yes to comes.
I love that. I love that. Focus on the yes that are to come.
That are to come.
I love that. And for people who want to join Filipino Homes, how do they go about that?
If they want to join Filipino Homes, they have to look for brokers that are. I know there are a lot of brokers nationwide and team leaders and unit managers that are online. So find someone that they can trust. Find someone that they want to join. Find someone that they want to emulate, and message that someone, because we are all ready to welcome them in Filipino Homes. We are a growing company, and we want to welcome people to join Filipino Homes.
And with that, thanks so much, Boss A. Really appreciate where you're coming from. I appreciate the story of where it's come from and how to continue to grow. Sometimes we forget it's really focus. And for me, that's a big issue. Focus is one of my key areas of opportunity, and hopefully I'm looking forward to you. I've gained a lot from this discussion with you. Thanks so much for joining us over here.
Thank you very
on the
much,
RJ Ledesma Podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.